This Bud's for you. Buy that man a Miller. It's the right beer now. The message you get from beer companies is that you deserve that ice-cold beer when you're having a good time. On the other hand, you hear, drinking and driving can kill a friendship, and friends don't let friends drive drunk. You easily get the impression that it's no problem to drink to excess as long as you don't drive. But I've seen students who didn't drive get carried out of parties on stretchers because they drank until they passed out. I've had to put friends in cabs or had them stay over at my home because they drank too much to be able to make it home safely. As a student at this and another university, I've seen firsthand that drinking too much is a problem, and my research shows that it's a growing problem on college campuses. Tonight, I will tell you of the serious problem of excessive drinking by college students. I'll discuss some causes, and I'll propose a solution. Let's first examine the problem when college students drink to excess. From my in-class survey, I learned that 11 of you agree that excessive drinking by college students causes serious problems for the university community, while only 4 of you are either undecided or disagree. Let's first talk about what some of those problems are for the community. We're probably all aware of the dangers of drinking and driving, and we're becoming increasingly aware of the role of alcohol in acquaintance rape. But let's turn to some problems you may not have thought about. First, a student may use a community's medical resources if they drink too much. According to an article published in Newsweek, the number of students from Boston University hospitalized for alcohol-related illnesses doubled this year. Hospital and police are valuable community resources being used by students who drink too much. In addition to causing problems for the community, students may cause problems for themselves if they drink too much. A student may skip class, work, or studying due to a hangover. Now you might be thinking, what's a skipped class here and there? Well, it adds up. According to the Office for Substance Abuse Prevention in Washington, D.C., alcohol is a factor in 21% of all college dropouts. Next, students who drink to excess sometimes injure themselves or others. I found from my in-class survey that 8 of you have yourselves had an alcohol-related injury, or you know someone who has had an alcohol-related injury. Much more tragic are student deaths caused by alcohol. In February of this year, a student at Princeton University climbed on top of a train that was stopped at the station. The student was electrocuted when he touched the train's live wire, and he'd been drinking heavily at a campus party. According to the Office for Substance Abuse Prevention, alcohol is the leading cause of death among young adults. And furthermore, of college students currently enrolled in the United States, more than 240,000 will eventually lose their lives to alcohol. 240,000. That's the current student population of this university, 6 times over. Now that we've seen how drinking too much is a serious problem for students and their communities, let's look at some causes. Of course, there are many general causes, from the glorification of drinking that we see in the media to the tradition of drinking heavily as a rite of passage. But I'd like to discuss some causes that are more specific to college life. I'll tell you how alcohol-centered activities and social pressure can lead to excessive student drinking. Now, college has many activities that are alcohol-centered. Many parties may have drinking as the main event or feature drinking games. And we all know that the purpose of the bars within walking distance of campus is for people to purchase and consume alcohol. If alcohol is the thrust of the activity, then most people who attend that activity will drink, and no one is setting limits as to how much they should drink. All around the country, spring break has become such an alcohol-centered activity that the Surgeon General said, "Spring break used to be where the boys are. Now, it's where the booze is." In addition to alcohol-centered activities, social pressure is a cause. I remember well my initiation into an eating club at Princeton University back in 1984. Most of my friends were getting initiated that night as well, and we got the message clearly from each other and from the clubs that if we wanted to make it into the club that night, we'd have to drink, and drink heavily. Everyone I knew drank a great deal that night. Many of you have also experienced social pressure because I found from my survey that 9 of you feel that social pressure has an impact on the amount you drink. Now that we have seen how social pressure and alcohol-centered activities can lead to excessive student drinking, I'd like to discuss solutions that address these causes. These are simple solutions that are within your power to use right away. First, you can choose fun activities that are not alcohol-centered. For a friend's 21st birthday, rather than just taking them out for drinks, take them shopping for a special gift. You can go for walks, go to sporting events, or go for bicycle rides to see the view of the city rather than just the view from the bar. You can choose parties and clubs that are alcohol-free. You may say, nobody wants to go to activities that don't involve alcohol. But this year, the Wisconsin Union Directorate offered students a chance to help the poor in Florida, North Carolina, and Texas as an alternative to spring break. There were only 40 positions available, but over 120 people applied. Choosing activities is important, but the choice not to drink too much is equally important. So if you attend activities that do involve alcohol, make the decision before the event that you will not drink too much. You can use the buddy system and say to a friend, tonight at the party, I've decided only to have 3 drinks. If you help me maintain my limit, I'll help you maintain your limit. In social situations where there's a lot of pressure to constantly have a drink in your hand, you can alternate an alcoholic drink with a non-alcoholic drink. For instance, I like to drink rum and Coke. So what I'll do is I'll have 1 rum and Coke, and then for my next drink, I'll ask the bartender to fill that same glass with just Coca-Cola. I can easily maintain my limit, and no one else at the party needs to know that I'm not always consuming alcohol. If we recognize that social pressure is a factor in our drinking, we can use it to our advantage to help us drink responsibly. Tonight we have learned about the serious problem of excessive drinking by college students and some of its causes. But I do hope you realize that solutions are within your power. Please don't think I'm against alcohol, but I am advocating responsible use of the drug, and we must recognize alcohol's power as a drug. Let's go beyond friends don't let friends drive drunk to friends don't let friends get drunk. Be a good friend to the most important person of all, yourself. And if you choose to drink, please don't drink to excess.